Yesterday, Uhuru Kenyatta made some remarks that are clearly sending chills in William Ruto's team. For the better part of today, some of William Ruto's staunch allies, the likes of Arun Cheriot, have been calling upon Uhuru Kenyatta to retire politically. An indication that Uhuru Kenyatta's being active in politics is posing a serious threat to William Ruto's presidency. Listen to Uhuru Kenyatta before we proceed.
My brother, my friend, my party leader, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga,
Yes. Besides that, Uhuru Kenyatta also made it very clear that even though he is retired, he is not tired. And that was interpreted to mean Uhuru is going nowhere. He is still going to be politically active. And that is something causing serious chills in William Ruto's team. The mere fact that they are coming out to complain and are demanding for Uhuru Kenyatta's retirement from politics confirms that an active Uhuru Kenyatta politically is a serious threat to William Ruto's team. In this video, as usual, I want us to understand why Ruto and his team are scared of an active, politically, Uhuru Kenyatta. Before doing that, if you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. The mere fact that Uhuru Kenyatta is a retired president, you cannot rule him out in the mountain politics. And that's clearly why William Ruto and his team are pushing him to retire. They know he still enjoys a lot of support on the mountain. If you look at politics as it is, a leader can be rejected today, but tomorrow, the same leader who was rejected becomes the darling of the people. In the August elections, from what Chebukati told us, that came from the mountain, we can assume that the mountain rejected Uhuru Kenyatta, with a good number also embracing him. And Uhuru Kenyatta campaigned and he was warning the mountain against William Samoei Ruto. And some thought that Uhuru Kenyatta was just talking things he never knew. It's a fact that Ruto is now the president. And it's also a fact that a good majority of Mount Kenya residents, especially those who voted for William Ruto, thinking that he was going to push them or to pull them from bottom to ups, that kind of a constituency, or rather that constituency, is a very disappointed lot. Ruto promised them that it was bottoms up. I know some might have believed him on the mountain. They are now waking up to the reality that William Ruto lied to them. The mountain is waking up to that reality that William Ruto lied to them. So Uhuru Kenyatta stands at a better position to incite the mountain against William Samoei Ruto. Uhuru will just tell his people that I told you, but you never listened. In that Uhuru Kenyatta will just be confirming to the people what the people themselves have confirmed in a William Ruto's government. And this time around, I see Uhuru Kenyatta stands at a better position to convince the mountain than he was in 2022. That's what William Ruto has seen. Ruto has already looked at the bigger picture. That's why they are pushing Uhuru Kenyatta to retire. Ruto knows Uhuru has a lethal sword in his arms, a sword he can use to devour William Ruto on the mountain. And this is why it's now up to Azimio Raila Odinga and his team to make good use of Uhuru Kenyatta on the mountain. If it's possible, let Uhuru Kenyatta start his campaigns on the mountain. Let Uhuru Kenyatta start Azimio campaigns immediately on the mountain. Because as I talk, it's a fact from what we are seeing happening on the mountain. Just yesterday and those previous days, we have been seeing riots on the mountain. People complaining that this is not what Ruto promised them. Azimio should actually grab this wonderful opportunity. Let them use Uhuru Kenyatta to actually turn tides against Ruto on the mountain. And besides that, if you look it from another angle, William Ruto is very desperate to make sure he isolates Raila Odinga. For Raila Odinga to be a standalone. You know, again in politics, perception is also key. And that's why we have been seeing some top national leaders picking some other leaders who necessarily do not have support on the ground just for perception. And that's why in 2007, if you looked at the Pentagon, there were some faces that were picked across the country. The truth of the matter, that was for perception. In terms of perception, Uhuru Kenyatta can give Raila Odinga and the Azimio Brigade that perception. Uhuru will create this perception that Raila is being supported by key leaders from the mountain. That's important. And Uhuru will also be sending a message to Kenyans that Raila is not alone. He is even being supported by somebody who has been a president before. Politics is about such simple things. Raila and his team should forget what happened in 2022 August elections. They should actually look into the future, and they should look into the future by making good use of Uhuru Kenyatta in good time. That's what I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen. And Ruto most likely has seen that. And that's why Ruto is very desperate for Uhuru Kenyatta to retire. Anytime Uhuru Kenyatta makes some political speeches, you are seeing William Ruto and his team all over him. A confirmation that they know Uhuru Kenyatta carries a lethal weapon in his arms. A lethal, or rather a lethal weapon that can be used to devour William Ruto on the mountain. As I conclude, a combination of Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, and the Azimio Brigade, if they organize themselves very well, now that it's very clear Ruto is not delivering, if they can organize themselves very well, they are going to render William Ruto's government irrelevant on the ground. It does not matter. William Ruto can mobilize all the elected leaders on his side. But I'm very sure as long as the people on the ground are suffering, the leaders will be seen as wasaliti, betrayers. If Uhuru, Raila, and the Azimio Brigade organize themselves very well, they'll turn tides against Ruto on the ground. Leaders joining William Ruto will be seen as vacillating. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. But just as I did indicate when we were starting, if you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. To any other person who want to support our forum, as always, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Feel free to channel any kind of a support to the number. Feel free. And make sure you also subscribe in order to get our next analysis. I'm working on Raila's political tsunami in Busia. Today, Raila Odinga was in Busia, where he held a rally that was very successful. Going by the attendance we saw. Yes, let me stop it there. Tamu sana. Tamu sana, yes.